opportunity to present the EOD Open project here today. And maybe not everyone was here with us this morning, so I will introduce myself. My name is Rita Rado, and I am the head of the Research Organization Department of the National Széchényi Library, and I am also an assistant professor at the Institute of Library and Information Science at the University. Our libraries are one of the most important content provider in a knowledge-based society, and it is in the common interest into the users and the collection owners as well to provide access to cultural goods in an optimal and user-friendly way. And the tools of the digital world are the major steps forward in this process. In my presentation today, I would like to talk in more detail about the EOD Open project, which aims to make cultural heritage as widely accessible as possible, with a real focus on user needs and sustainability. European libraries has long been concerned with the question of how to make available to users the significant amount of textual documents from the 20th and 21st centuries that cannot be published digitally due to the complex copyright legislation. These works are often hidden in library bookshelves, and mostly they are not on the market anymore, or maybe there are no plan to reprinting or the facsimile publication. So the EOD Open project really would like to open up the knowledge. The project was launched in 2019, and actually it was planned for 4 years, but because of the pandemic, we got a prolongation till 2024. And as you can see on the slide, the project is really close to the completed at its end, and we just had our last project workshop in Tartu last week. And actually it was a really satisfying moment because we completed all the tasks we needed. So that 15 partner institutes from 11 countries just did a really good job. And the project coordinator is the University and State Library of Innsbruck. The EOD Open project is funded by Creative Europe. And the financial distribution of the 2014 to 2020 period also shows that the culture is one of the strongest common values in Europe. Here you can see the project partners, most of them national libraries, but there are some smaller libraries as well, university libraries and research and academic libraries also. The partners are divided 7 working groups to achieve the professional objectives of the project, and the libraries involved have been selected to lead the working groups. And let's see how the EOD Open project has evolved. The e-book on demand initiative was launched in 2008, and the EOD project, or I can say service, as most of you already know, is that if a reader in a participating library needs a book, they can order a copy of it, and after the right clearance process and the digitization, the document is made available electronically after the payment of the service fee. And this is actually a really good idea and service, I think, because at the same time, an ever-expanding international database was created that allows users to access the library's document in a legal, clear, and digital format. And actually the service is very popular, but 15 of the participating libraries decided to improve more a little for the service. And in order to achieve this, at the second stage, the e-book on-demand network opening publications for European netizens, the EOD Open project was launched. The participants aim to make more content available and provide an easy-to-use interface for disadvantaged readers, and as well as to support the right clearance management effectively. So the priorities of the EU Open project is actually the digitization, the accessibility, and the copyright clearance. The main goal was to make 15,000 textual material from the 20th and 21st centuries digitally available, and to reach more than 1 million people, particularly young people and those readers with special needs, and to spread the best practices in right clearance among the professional community internationally. And to require this following, we just immediately involving the community in the selection process of the digitization digital material, and keeping rights and fully respecting the current copyright regime. And actually, in this case of this project, this requires particular attention and extensive knowledge, as the copyright laws in several countries have to be taken into account. And of course, we just need to learn how to adapt digital objects for people with disabilities, and building a common portal to present the results. And there is one more thing which I think really important, and we just really paid attention for this, that providing librarians and other cultural workers with the skills, competencies, and know-how about the mentioned topics. Here you can see the project organization. The partners in the project form working groups, as I already mentioned, and the project tasks are divided for major working packages, and one or more working groups responsible for the task in each area. And these 4 working package shows on the top row, and responsible working groups you can see below on the slide. Actually, the first 3 working packages cover general project management tasks, and this including, of course, the management, the monitoring the progress of the budget, and the work program, and organizing and consulting with the working groups and in various project teams, and preparing actually the project report. And of course, there is communication and dissemination, which is a really important part of the project. That the results of the project are communicated to colleagues, partners, and readers, the right level and to the right extent. And the evaluation and quality assessment is also really important, because the evaluation and quality assessment are an integral part of every well-functioning project. So at the EU Open project has also integrated all this quality assurance. And let's take a closer look at the 4 working groups responsible for implementing the project task. The primary task of working group 4 is to prepare guidelines and recommendation to provide better public access to digital works by providing alternative and specialized formats. And these guidelines are intended for cultural heritage institutions that digitize their collection for a wider audience, and are concerned about reaching users of mobile device, hearing disabled, blind, and visually impaired communities. The working group 4 leaders was actually the Slovenian National and University Library. The legal insecurity is one of the strongest innovation barriers for making available 20th and 21st centuries cultural heritage. So the primary task of the Working Group 5 is to examine new developments, opportunities, challenges and solutions to existing rights problem in the context of a rapidly changing digital environment, and collecting and publishing good practices on right clearance, and building up an international knowledge database for right clearance. The National Library of Sweden was actually the leader of the Working Group 5. And the main task of the Working Group 6, which leader is the Hungarian National Library, is to design and develop the right clearance documentation tool that simultaneously fits into the National Library's own system and also takes into account the interoperability requirements of partner institutions. The right clearance is a substantial part of the work to be carried out when digitizing 20th and 21st centuries literature work. And however, no uniform tool, or maybe I can say there is no uniform tool, but I'm sure there is not so much uniform tool or IT infrastructures exist to support the librarians in the important task of documentation of the right clearance process. So the right clearance documentation tool actually is a real documentation tool that guides and assists you to step by step through the clearance workflow. And the development process consists of the three following tasks: identifying requirements of technical infrastructure for legally appropriate documentation of right clearance, and specifying requirements of implementation of right clearance documentation tool into other workflows and environments, and of course implementing and testing right clearance documentation tool. And here are some screenshots of how the documentation tool works, how it search, how it can show the results and other workflows, and of course it's content a really detailed user guide that just help us to use it a really effective way. The common portal for the main digitization output of the project has been developed and made available in the Working Group 7. And together the project partners have digitized and made available more than 15,000 works following the right clearance process, because all the project partners had to digitize at least 1,000 documents. And the common portal actually ensures the sustainability and plays a key role in the dissemination and outreach work, because the content of the common portal will be integrated into the government services. And as I can say, as a side effect, but of course it's not a side effect, but the working group further disseminate well-established standards and frameworks. Here you can see a screenshot of the Open common portal created by the Moravian Library, and actually they were the working group leader as well. And here you can find in this portal the 15,000 right cleared digitized documents produced by the project partner. And as a second screenshot, it also shows that the interface of the portal has been translated by all partners, making it searchable in the language of the 11 participating countries. And in this short time, I have tried to introduce the Open project, but As you can see, this is a really complex project, so I obviously couldn't give you all the details. That's why I suggest you to visit the official website, de.open.eu, for more information. And as I just mentioned, the project it's near completed. So you will really soon be able to find here all the documents we just made, all the guidelines, and all the database information, as well as the contact details of the common portal, and also the registration interface to use the right clearance documentation tool also, if you wish. So thank you very much for your attention, and if you have any question, I'm happy to answer, but I also would like to ask, because the previous presenter unfortunately can stay with us at the end of the session when the question and answer part is coming. Then if it's come into your mind any question about the previous presentation, just please feel